Hi guys, Kyung here, and today we're going to start or continue, as I should say, on our romance journal. I have a big 12 by 12 just blank sheet of paper. It's got kind of a little bit of a texture in it. I don't know if you can see or not, and I thought we'd use Journal Boat today because I have a bunch of her papers printed out already. And I blew these up a little bit. So I took them into like Photoshop. I just made them a little bit bigger for our project today and cut them out. So that's the ephemera, some of the ephemera. And we just should pick a page that I think will be pretty. It's going to be somewhat covered. I really like this one. Okay, we're going to do this one. So we're going to make a little flippy book thing. A little flippy book thing to go in a pocket in our journal. And I figured we would just use the pocket that came with the Journal Boat kit. This is Shabby Pink Botanicals. And her kits are gorgeous. So let's see. Let's grab a page. Stick this guy over here. We don't need this one for right now. We'll put that away so we can see. And okay, well, I already cut the kind of edges around, the white edges, you know. So I only have to make one cut. Right there. Oh no, my paper is all the way over there. I'll grab my guillotine. Cut this real quick and then we'll glue it onto the page. And I think I'll sew it. Let's get this out of the way. So I have, we went to the museum on the weekend. My husband took me to the museum and we had so much fun. They are always changing it. I haven't been to the museum in a few years, so I'm going to use Rose Romance. And we have a pretty big museum, but I haven't been in, 4 or 5 years. So, and he's never been to the planetarium. So we were going to do like the special exhibit of the numbers in nature. And they actually had 2 going on. They had the numbers in nature, and then they had like a Stonehenge kind of exhibit. But he'd never done the planetarium before. And the last time I did it once, but I was really little. I had to be, gosh, I don't know. I was so young, I can barely remember it. Like, I was really little. But, so we decided we would do that. And then if we got done with the planetarium and everything else, then, we'd go back and pay the, $5 admission or whatever for the special, one of the special exhibits. But as it turned out, yeah, we were done. By the time we got done with that and everything else, we were ready. We were ready to go. So I'm going to use my photo glue stick from Pioneer Photo Albums, and I did find them online, thank goodness. So, but I will have to order them wholesale, so I'll have to get them like 30 of them. But they'll only be like 98 cents, so that's not bad. Oh, don't do that. It like got folded in like the little crease in the glue stick thing. I've never had that happen before. So we went and saw, let's see, what was the thing we saw at the planetarium? Black holes. That's what it was. And yeah, it was great. It was fun. It was really cool. And there was a bunch of kids, and it was great because there was at one point, there was a giant sun, like the big one of the big ones, that's way bigger than our sun. One of the stars, I think Io or one of those. And it all came, and it was coming in all big, you're in the You're in the planetarium, you know. But I went all the dogs up the stairs. There went Phoebe, the straggler. Always takes her time. But yeah, there was a little kid in the back, and they were like, "Look at the big red one." It was so cute. But yeah, it was really cool. They really have enhanced their like space area. They have like a whole space area. They had an entire okay, so hold on. Let's grab this. We're going to cut this down to 9 by 9. So that's the first thing we need to do. Cut it down 9 by 9. And then we're going to fold it in half, and we're going to fold it in half again. Okay. So, yes, and then we're going to fold it in half, and then we're going to fold it in half again. So yeah, their space area was huge, and they had like an actual NASA astronaut suit, and they had a really good, well done replica of like the Mars rover, like a full-size one. They had, gosh, they had so much, and lots of stuff for kids. And actually, they had this entire giant room of, and then we're just going to cut it here. They had this whole room. Well, it wasn't even a room. It was almost like a mini building. It was a whole area where you could walk through, and it was like the bridge of like a starship, right? It was like a starship. And they had like an engineering room. They had, the main bridge had like a chair in the middle that kids could sit in, and it like would spin. And they had all these different stations. So like a science station, engineering station. They had a helm, and there was like a big viewer screen. And when you turned like warp on the helm, it turned the like warp drive thing on over at the engineering section. It was so cool. It was so cool. And now we're going to round the corners and ink it. So, yeah, we were running around having so much fun. We were adults and we were running around having fun. This hole punch, I need to get a new hole punch is what I need. Or hole punch, a corner rounder thing. There we go. So this is the idea. This folds like this, and I might need to cut, I think, a little bit up here. I feel like it's just a sliver, a tiny little sliver. Okay. There we go. So this is going to go in a pocket, right? And I'm going to put an image on the front, and then you can open it like this, and there'll be another image here, and then you can write on it. And then you open it like this, and I'll, put an image there, and then area to write. And that's the idea. And then it's a Flippy book, right? You could even write on the back and stuff. One could even glue it down to a page and have it fold out like this, right? You could glue it to a page instead of putting it in a pocket. But we're going to put it in a pocket. So now let's ink it. So, so the hallway of this really cool little spaceship simulator thing, interactive walkthrough, it was so cool. But there was this long hallway that had, it had to have like 100 buttons. These like big buttons just down the wall, down the hallway. And you push these buttons, and all these buttons had different symbols on them. And if you push the button would turn a certain color light. And my guess is that in one of the rooms, because there were quite a few rooms, they had an engineering room, they had a bunch of different rooms. My guess is in one of the rooms there was like a puzzle, and that you had to send your friends out into the hallway to like push the correct symbol to give you the correct colored for sequins. I don't know. It was so awesome. It was for kids, but we had a blast as adults. And it was really cool because it was kind of brand new. So they had like a survey lady kind of around, and she stopped us and like started asking us questions and stuff about, like, you know, how did you like the exhibit, and did you find it, like, did you know what to do when you first came in, and all those things. So they were really cool with the fact that like adults were even in there playing. It was so much fun. What else did they have? We went and saw the whole their gem and mining / rock area, which is huge. It's probably the biggest area in the museum. And I think maybe has been since I was a kid. Because I remember going through that stuff when I was little, like with my mom and stuff. But they've added a bunch. I mean, it'll take you an hour and a half just to walk through their gem and mining area. It's really cool. Let's see. We went through the Native American exhibit. They do have that. And that's been there for a while, and it's changing all the time because they don't keep a lot of the items. You know, they will display it for a while, and then they go and give it back to the tribe, you know, the tribe that it belongs to. So I know that the Denver Natural History Museum does work with a lot of indigenous, you know, Native American tribes and stuff, trying to get their artifacts back to them, you know, back to where they belong. Okay. Oh, goodness, that was a pain to ink. Some things are a pain to ink, and that is one of them. So I cut these out ahead of time in preparation. These just are like some ephemera that come in the journal boat in this kit, in this pink shabby kit. And I just basically took it into Photoshop and I like blew it up a little bit. I just, you know, made them a little bit bigger. I like that. I thought one of these would be good on like the cover. Look at that, easy peasy. Let's just glue it on there. We're not going to think about it. We're not going to do anything else to it and overcomplicate. Okay, stop. We'll ink it. We'll ink it and we'll round the corners. And that's it. I promise. Excuse me. Get some water. Goodness. Okay. So it's been so hot and so dry here. We haven't had rain for a few weeks. And then yesterday, so it's like 90 something degrees, right? It had to be maybe 95, 96. And just all day blue sky, gorgeous, gorgeous weather. And then all of a sudden, once again, it just started coming down. It was like this little isolated thunderstorm just right above us. You could see the perimeter of the storm, you know, of the clouds all the way around, and it just started hailing, like hailing, and it was hot. You know, it was warm, and I started to worry. I was like, oh no, hail plus, you know, heat, and isolated thunderstorms like that, and do not make for good tornado weather. Well, it makes for great tornado weather. Just that's, I guess, the problem. It doesn't make for good weather, you know. Tornadoes really do occur in those kind of conditions. But it moved quick, so that was, I think, a thing that helped. The wind was, you know, it was moving, and so it moved on pretty quickly. But we got some pretty big pieces of hail. And my dog, my Holly dog, the German Shepherd, who's, you know, she has issues. She's got all kinds of issues, digestive issues and stuff we're trying to fix. But she's also neurotic, and I think it's because she's always hungry. But I was standing at the kitchen, and had the back door open, watching the hail, you know, smelling the rain, enjoying it, whatever. And she just started, and all the other dogs are smart. And they're not even going out there, right? They're just sit there, they're kind of watching with me, you know. And she just runs out there, right? And I'm like, dog, what are you doing? Do you have a brain? Get in the house. And she freaked out a little bit and started kind of running around the tree. We have fruit trees right outside the back door. And she kind of started running around them. And I was like, get inside, get inside. And so she ran back inside and gave me this look. And I was like, I don't know why you're looking at me like that. Crazy dog. I think she was kind of wanting to maybe, I think her initial idea, honestly, was that she was wanting to like play in or get the thing that was making the noise. Because it was pretty loud, you know. It was like hitting the shed. It was like bang, bang, you know. And I think she wanted to go, we could cut this and fit this on here. That's what I think we'll do. Right like that and right like that. My cutter is all across the room. So yes, we had so much fun at the museum. So much fun. I told Matthew, I said, we have to go more often. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like some of their stuff was missing or closed off, and that could have been because of, you know, this whole past year. They're not back up to, you know, 100% efficiency yet over there, which would totally make sense, and I understand. And it could be also maybe the reason why they were offering both special exhibits at the same, because normally when you go to the museum, they only do one special exhibit at a time, right? For like a month or 2 months or whatever. And then that's it. And then they move it out and then they move in the new exhibit, you know, and then that exhibit moves to the next museum, you know. And then that way everybody gets to see, you know, the mummy of blah, 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 or whatever. I think that's a pretty good system. But yeah, they had 2 when we went, so. But we didn't go see either of them. We were tired. We were ready to go home. Okay, I do have, since it is a little sparse, I have some of this lace I could put on here. Maybe like that. Yeah. Yep. I want it to maybe poke out over the edge a little tiny bit, right? So that you can see it on the other side. How does that look? Good? I think it looks good. Let's just go for it. Why not? It is what it is, and it will be what it will be. So, but it's another hot day today. Hot and dry. So dry. I need to get a humidifier. Is what I need to get, because it's too dry. Especially in the mornings I wake up and whew, it's just hot and dry. We don't have air conditioning though, so I think that also is a big deal. That kind of helps with the heat, you know. It's just, but at least our house is insulated pretty well, so. Especially in the basement. All right, which is where I spend my time anyway. Let's trim off this. We might need to, how is it? Oh, look, I don't have to put any little extra glue on the edge. Sometimes you have to put a little bit of extra glue. All right, let's glue this guy on here. So I'm using my art glitter glue today. It's just my most reliable glue, and it's so fast and so easy, and yes, it's expensive, but I don't care. It's worth it to me. Like, how much money do I spend a month on, like, snacks, right? Really. So much money, I bet, a month on snacks. I mean, and I eat some snacks. I have a pretty high metabolism, so I burn it so quickly. So I'm constantly snacking throughout the day. And yeah, I eat some snacks. Oh, look at how pretty. So you open it like this. And then you open it like this. See? And I might cut some like notebook paper or something to put, yeah, let's do that. Let's put like some notebook paper. I have some, do I have some on hand? Of course not, of course not. It's okay, I can get up. We can get up and do this. Come here, notebook. We do also have, you know what, I like this. Let's do this. Let's see some of this. I love graph paper because I love the squares. And this I got at the thrift store, see? And it cost me less than that because it was a purple tag. And I think on the day that I went, purple tags were half off or something. So I think I spent 50 cents on it. But let's grab a couple just so I don't have to cut any extras. All right. Put Mr. Graph Book over there. Okay, so we're gonna need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. I'm just gonna fold it in half and I'm gonna cut them all at the same time. Just cheat it, you know? Be quick and easy and no fuss. And not throw the wrong piece of paper out. As I've noticed that I have a tendency to do that, right? This is the piece we want to keep. This is the piece that gets thrown over there. Oh, goodness. Okay. My handy dandy. Ready? Oh, I cut it like butter. I need to oil my guillotine though. It's so old. It's squeak, squeak, squeak. Put some WD-40 on there. Just a drop or two. Oh. That'll fix it up. Should I just cut the sliver? I'm going to cut the sliver. Sliveriest of slivers. Goodness. All right. So, here we go. Now, we're going to want to round the corners. We're going to want to ink it. Do we want to ink it? We don't have to. I don't think so. We already inked around the edge of the actual white. I think let's leave it not inked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I wonder if my corner rounder will do all of them at the same time. Shall we test it? I feel like it won't. But this is pretty thin paper. Okay. Let's... Oh, look at that. Okay, I take back everything bad I've ever said about you, corner rounder. I take back everything I ever said. You're an amazing, amazing little corner rounder. I'm not even going to get mad at you about that. How about that? Cheap little thing. Just kidding. No. I love you. I love you. You're good. You're good. Do me good. Come on. Ready? Aw, look at you. Working like you're supposed to. Yeah, and then let's just glue these on here. Man, I gotta have some lunch. My stomach is... You know what's funny is that I'll go And I won't be hungry, right? I'll be like, do, I'll have my breakfast. Do. And then, you know, it'll start to approach lunchtime. I'll be like, oh, I should go record. I go record, and every time, it never fails. Every time I record, my stomach will start to growl. And I don't know what that's about. Because it doesn't do that. And I know I'm hungry. I just need to go eat, but which I will. I'll have lunch after this. But I mean, goodness. My stomach doesn't usually growl when I'm hungry. I just get hungry, and then I'm like, I'm going to go eat. Okay. We're going to try to put this on as straight as we can. Let's grab our Mr. Towel. There we go. And we'll do the others. I feel like sometimes depends. Sometimes I'll use a page over and over again, but it depends on how I'm gluing it and what I'm doing, you know. If I'm gluing and I don't want glue on the paper at all, I might switch the page. But, you know, I'll say, since I got that glue eraser and I use it a lot, I find I don't care too much if I get glue on my paper. Like this, right? I got glue on my paper here. I'm just going to wait for that to dry, and my glue eraser will rub that right off. No problem. So this book that I'm using to glue my stuff on is one of those Reader's Digest books. I love those Reader's Digest books, and I use them for everything. Okay, look at that. That looks great. Doesn't that look... Oh, you know what? It even matches. I didn't even notice. But look, in her kit, it matches. She has a little bit of grid in her kit. So, which, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned, but I will put a link to the description of her shop down below. All her kits are gorgeous. They're all beautiful. This one I already had. I had bought this one in January for the January Daily, when we were doing the January Daily over in Miss Paintalot's group. And that's so crooked. Okay, we're going to do it. We're going to line it up along here. I'm going to stand up because I have to be above it to see it. All right, there we go. Okay, that should be good, hopefully. It should be straight. If we put the first line on straight, the rest of it should go straight. That's what I learned about trying to be clean with your lines, you know. And then we have the back, just this last one. Then we'll put the pocket on the page and stick this in the pocket. I'm not going to stitch around the page yet until I figure out what I'm going to do with the back side of the page, because it's likely that I'll put stuff on the back of the page and then I won't be able to stitch it after, because, you know, it'll already be stitched. So I'll wait to stitch the page till after we decide what we're going to do with the... Right? So normally at this point, I would stitch around the page, which would also help deal with, you know, the curling from the glue stick. And look at how great this glue stick is, though. Doesn't really wrinkle the paper. Too bad. It's great. So yeah, we're going to stick the pocket in, and it's going to slide in the pocket. And we're not going to glue this side. We're only going to glue here and here. So first we need to score this. Grab my thing. Grab the thing. The score thing. I would grab my whole scoreboard, but I don't need it. This thing has a score tool on it. So this is the cutter. So we're just going to line this up like that. Yeah, it scores really good. It actually, it's funny. I was talking to Terry over at Sweet Pea Papers, and we talk all the time. She's so funny. But yeah, I was talking to her about you know, this board, and we were talking about it, and I was like, oh, look, it does have a score tool. But, you know, I'm not sure how it works, you know, da-da-da. And she was like, well, try it, you know. So I was like, well, I might as well. So I did. And wow, I mean, look at how good it does. Isn't that great? I love that little cutter. That little cutter cost me like $10. Probably one of the best buys I ever made in terms of like money spent versus, why did you do that? Versus, you know, how much use you get out of it. Okay, that's why digitals are so great, because you can print them and then use them over and over. The problem is, you know, we can never print at the same quality that you can get like paper pads, right? So, I mean, I suppose that's not true. Some people, I think, have invested in very, very nice printers, but I think the majority of us don't have that kind of printing capability. These were printed off my eco printer, and they did pretty good. I think her kit does pretty well printed off the eco printer. Some kits don't do so well, you know. It really depends on the amount of distress and detail, because the eco printer prints with like a bunch of little dots, so quality goes down. It's nowhere near the quality of like this would be if it were printed on a laser printer, but it's cheaper. It's so much cheaper. So if you can get away with printing on an eco printer, as much as possible, and conserve, because I do have a laser printer, but it's expensive. The toner is expensive, and it doesn't last, you know, the longest. Okay, I'm going to put it here, try to give myself a little bit of room to sew it, to sew around this page when, is that not on straight? I can't tell. I cannot tell. Okay. Just press that down. Let's test with a piece of paper. Make sure that we have no glue that got squeezed out. Nope. So there we go. So this goes in there like this. Isn't that gorgeous? See? So you're flipping through your journal, doop-de-doop, and you come upon this page. What is this, you ask? You open it up, and it's got like a whole thing to it. And so I put these in pretty much every single one of my journals. I usually have one of these. So I love the way this one came out with her kit. This kit is gorgeous. But you know, it's funny, I never have made a journal using just one kit. I always use multiple kits. I love everyone's work, you know. Everyone has a different style and artistic kind of, I love it. Anyway, that's it. Let's see what it looks like in here. And I hope you all have a very good day. I had fun, and I appreciate you guys joining me and hanging out with me to make a Flippy book. Thing. See, ta-da! Very pretty. I don't know what I'm going to do with this page. Maybe I'll put like a pocket up in the corner here, And then we'll use our cool, our woodies, our little woodies things for it. Maybe that's what we'll do with that. And then this will get stitched around after we do this page, because I'm not sure what we're going to do with this page yet. So we'll do this page next time. And then maybe also next time we'll think about and look at putting some of the ephemera, the pre-made ephemera that we made, in and around, you know, places. So thank you for joining me again. I had fun. And bye.